Ladies and gentlemen, the spice of life is in disagreement, and that is where we have civilized discussions to air out different views on the Great Debaters Contest, Season 9. I am your host, Esperantia Kapanga.
And I am Chris Buru. The motion determining which school will be the greater debater today is devolution has failed in Kenya.
In the proposition, we have Kathiani Girls High School.
In the opposition, we have Mbooni Boys High School. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
If you want to test a man's character, give him power. Devolution has been our litmus test of the power we have given to the governor. Gladwell Tamar, Kathiani Girls, here to strongly propose the motion that states devolution has failed in Kenya. Let us start by defining some key terms, shall we? What is devolution? According to Oxford Dictionary, devolution is the transfer of delegation of power to a lower level, especially by central government to local or regional administration. What is to fail? To be unsuccessful in achieving a goal. On to my first point. Let us look at marginalization. One of the major reasons for devolution was to eliminate exclusion. Has that been achieved? Maybe. Well, devolution has reduced exclusion, at the national level, but it is flourishing in many counties. The areas that vote in the current county government receive development as a reward for their votes, while those that don't languish. In short, give me a vote, I give you development. My next point. Devolution is currently synonymous to corruption. I mean, you can't define devolution without corruption today. If you look at the spending reports, trust me, your head will spin with disappointment. Listen to this. Some withdrawn from the county coffers in cash 40 million shillings. Let's look at the expenditure. 1.75 million shillings. Guess for what? I know you're all guessing about food, but trust me, it doesn't imply here. 1.75 million shillings for the upkeep of the county first lady. I know. Even I want to marry the governor when I grow up, because 1.75 million for my upkeep. Imagine all the gold necklaces for paparazzi and cameras. I'm going to look good. So, imagine if every county does this. And my math statistics tells me, because we have 47 counties, each women representative each first lady gets 1.75 million. I know maths. It totals up to 82.28 million just to make the first ladies look good on camera. I mean, is it really worth it? Oh, the price we pay for devolution. Thank you.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
If you want to fly with eagles, then don't swim with ducks. Ladies and gentlemen, Magero Builder Mondi from Mbooni Boys High School, standing before you. Now, 6 years ago, the Kenyan government decided they will abandon the company of ducks and they will join the company of eagles. A good example of the company of eagles that we have joined is the UK. The UK used the devolved government, the devolved system of the government. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to oppose the motion that states the devolution has failed in Kenya. On to my first point. All of us want to be heard. All of you seated here want to be heard. Now, the government has brought their ears to us through the county government. The government asks, the central government asks. The county government receives the question from them. It brings it down to us, the people. Now I have a question. Do you think the government has heard you? Because then we as the people give the answers to the government through the county government. We are heard. We take part in making decisions, important decisions in our government. My other point is that The government, through the evolution, the government has made their work simpler. That is the central government. Can you believe, a long time ago, just some time back, the government, that is the central government, used to perform all the tasks that involves the current devolved government. Right now, as I talk, development of local roads, development of local health centers, like I'll give you an example, the Kathiani Level 4 Hospital, development of local schools. These are duties assigned to our county or devolved government. While our government, that is the central government, deals with important tasks like attending and creating forums to get investors into our own country to make Kenya better. Now, isn't that a simpler method? Isn't that a simpler method for you? Has the work been simplified or not? Ladies and gentlemen, that was my time. Gilrs Mbooni from Mbooni Boys High School. Thank you.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
I am strongly in front of you, but I want first talk to my first opposer. You congratulated Kathiani Hospital, but if I may tell, a sick nation is no nation at all. I am Mbooni, Kathiani Girls High School, strongly proposing the motion, devolution has failed Kenya. The devolution of the health sector has caused a push and pull game between the county government and the national government. No one wants to take the responsibility for the expenditure that comes with the health sector. This has caused poor service delivery and perennial strikes of the health workers, making Kenya a sick nation. Now let's look at this. I go to the hospital with a complaint of ulcers, but guess what they gave me? Panadol, and he is congratulating the hospitals. On 4th February 2019, nurses from 11 counties went on strike. The following day, Madari Hospital's nurses also downed their tools. We are losing lives to devolution. We are losing our precious loved ones just for the case the county government will cater for our national resources. Tribalism and nepotism, my next point. Devolution is recently becoming a rich hub for tribalism and nepotism. At the county offices, the language that is spoken is, who do you know, who sent you? And I ask, will we continue losing our country's money to the leading pockets of the families of the leaders? The Homo Bay governor, was recently accused of registering companies using the name of his relatives. The Kiambu governor was recently investigated after awarding tenders worth 580 million to their families. Where are we heading to if the government that we are looking onto is just but failing and praising up their allies? Incompetence. Devolution has given power to incompetent governors, deputy governors, and county officials. If I may quote, Deputy William Ruto, our deputy president, say this: most problems in Kenya are caused by incompetent governors. End of quote. Nairobi County is using millions of shillings that we are doing as a county in form of expenditure. And if I may tell, where there are papers, go look at them. If we can't have competent leaders that are wise enough to lead our nation, then we are doomed. Thank you.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
In every revolution, we have a man with a vision. Well, I am January's child, the man with a vision. The vision to improve our nation through devolution from Mbooni Boys High School. Well, the proposers of this motion have stated that in recent times you have had to experience lots of strikes from the public workers. Then, let me give it a simple explanation to that. Take it back in history, since independence up to 2011, before we ensure that we put the new constitution in place, to allow devolution. What occurred? How many strikes occurred between that period? Like, let me answer you favorably. Well, this is a simple arithmetics. Currently, we are doing much better than we were doing back then. Like, creation of job opportunities has occurred, devolution. We have 47 county governments in exact. Well, back then we had one Minister for Education. Currently, how many do we have? One for the national government, 47 more for the county governments. Tell me, if these had not been put in place, where could the 47 others go? Well, I believe you have to side with me for that. We also have balance in counties' economic development. Economic development. The national government was situated in Nairobi, the country's capital city. It was developed. The big buildings like the KICC, the children from my up-country primary school would always pay for trips to go there. But now what's happening? I tell you, my dear judge, as you can see, your son will no longer want to go up there. But then we have the KICC of our nation, of the upcoming generation in Machakos. You'll have to go to a nearby place. We have the good facilities. We have the first tarmac road ever in Mandera County. Since independence, where are those roads? Where were they? As I may ask. We also have prudent financial management. Finances, well, yeah, some might have been stolen. But then we have much that has been put into place. It has developed our place. Even I may feel comfortable to defend the government. We have, like, the GDP, to be exact, for 2012, before the new constitution came into place, was $2,602.51 US. But then now, how much do we have, as I can speak? At 2018, the GDP was at 3,425.51, an impulse to some development, sense of development. We can feel proud of that. If the GDP can rise up to that amount, well, currently the difference is 822. In how many years? 6. Well, give it a chance. What will be there 10 years down the line? You yourself will be the witness. We are the new generation, the generation that is coming up. We will see this, the impact of devolution in our nation. Well, maybe we need resources. And how do we get resources? East tax collection methods. East tax collection. Tax, well, we were losing lots of money then through corruption cases. But now, we have the chain to the county government, the national government. With that in place, I believe I have to tell no more. But the story of devolution is for you to be the judge. Don't wait for somebody else to judge for you. Thank you.
The proposers have been asked to validate the claim that the wives of the governors in our country are paid 1.75 million. The opposers have been asked if devolution has really worked for our country, then why do we still have citizens who are suffering? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Melissa Wanjiru, Kathiani Girls High School. Well, what we said was, the wives of our governors, the money they get is not even a past thing. This is a misuse of our resources, so it's nowhere close to being compared to our president's pay. There can never be peace without equality. Now, devolution has reignited land conflict amongst marginalized communities in Kenya. Take the instance of Uasin Gishu around the burnt forest area. 2 communities separated by one single road, yet an equal distribution of basic resources like schools, health, and job opportunities always make these 2 communities to be at war. Another good example is the Maasai majority in Kajiado, where much of the land is owned by non-Maasais. So what does this do? This causes conflict amongst these communities always. Now, devolution is very, very, very expensive. It has completely drained the taxpayers' pockets. I mean, which Kenya doesn't have a debt with either Timiza, Tala, Branch, or which Kenya hasn't Fuliza? I mean, if you haven't, I believe you must be part of the Illuminati. Creation of new seats in the parliament, 67 senators, 47 governors, and 2,526 members of assembly put the final nail on the coffin of our already dying economy. As a nation, we spend 36 billion Kenya shillings on devolution alone. I mean, is it worth it? And then you said building of roads. I mean, what good are well-developed roads when the only cars passing are the cars of the leaders who apparently have been doing a lot of stealing of our funds? Well, accountability. Most county governments cannot account for the funds given to them. Homa Bay County, Bungoma County, Nairobi County, just to mention but a few. Well, in Homa Bay County, the governor could not account for 3.9 billion shillings paid to a contractor who literally did nothing. I mean, as Kenyans, we are basically paying people to do nothing. And then Bungoma County, wait for it, Bungoma County bought 10 wheelbarrows at 1 million Kenyan shillings each. It's a ridiculous country, really. And then I believe that we are all very familiar with the Kidero grass, which cost 40 million. So where are we heading as a country? More funds? And then you talked about job creation. Who's getting these jobs? Our unemployed youths. Remember, opposition brings concord, and out of discord comes the fairest harmony. Therefore, checks and balances must prevail on devolution. And those decisions you said we are making, are they being implemented? Thank you.
Thadu Puza, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
Bernard Nzao, Mbooni Boys High School. You know, one thing is certain. For example, what are we doing? I want to answer a question that was posed to me. She said, or she asked, how well is devolution working? So I want to ask you, who said it's going to be easy? Even a machine, the best machine in the world, none has 100% efficiency. So it's a new system. For the past 6 years, we've seen its tremendous impacts on our lives. I mean, if you think this is a joke, go ask a lady, a grandma from the farthest end of Kenya, that is Marsabit. She can easily get medical access. I also want to ask, how many of you are familiar with the principle of greater good? Sonko chips in to help. He sends what? I mean, food, relief food. And then we're here saying devolution doesn't help. Look at the bright future. I can feel it. And then you're here telling me that devolution does not work. Seriously. Again, someone talked about Nairobi. Cars. Do you know the number of cars that are in Nairobi? Actually, they're even more than the population. Many people drive. We have jam, traffic congestion. Why? Is it tuk-tuk? No. Vehicles. Big vehicles. We have, again, a pregnant lady. Pregnant ladies. Due to devolution, pregnant ladies can be able to access maternity. In the past, how many of them could? Most of them could give birth at their home places. Mortality rate, it goes down. We need these people to help and build a better Kenya tomorrow. Therefore, devolution, I mean, games, sparkles, I mean, the word is sparkle, are the lives of our residents in the 47 counties. Devolution works. It has led to expansion of political space. We have over 300 MCAs, that is members of county assembly. Why? This helps us, mostly the youths. We youths, for a better tomorrow. That is why we have devolution. Devolution, if you are a youth, you are getting acquainted very well with situations that are yet to come. And then the question is Is devolution really working? And the answer is a yes. Improve better quality services. She talked about it. I mean, we have a case of Mbooni. Before, when it used to belong to the national government, how many of us passed through that? And I mean, Mbooni is now a better place. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
We all agree that devolution is Kenya's major undoing. And we all yearn for the days when development was just but a story. We are the leaders of tomorrow and the benefiting elite, so we should be willing to contemplate what happens if and when devolution does not deliver what we expected. Because devolution has terribly failed us. I mean, it has terribly failed. If I had time, I'd tell you, it has failed us. Thank you.
Opposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
Again, it's Bernard. You see, we might have been 200 years far away from USA, but one thing that is certain is devolution has helped us keep 50 years. And with this, I can see the future. It's right there. I can smell it. Again, it's within. And of course, I can see the future. And the future lies with devolution. Thank you.
I might not have much to say here because when the girl stood up, I felt devolution has failed. Then the boys come up and sway me to the other side. So in essence, I think we have done a fantastic job on this particular one. Girls, you gave very beautiful points. The first speaker, Tamara, you can make a very good speaker. You have wonderful poses. Okay, then came in, is it Kalin or I don't want to make mistakes? Yeah, you have a fantastic strength of the points. You've done your research. Then Melissa comes up and wraps up with very good examples, giving us a massage. Actually, you walked us through the country. We could see where you are coming from. The boys, you did a good job. I think January, somehow you made me not even try it because I was just looking at what you are doing, yeah? You had very eloquent points, really convinced us. So I might not say much in this. I think I've listened to the debate, I've enjoyed it. May the best team win.
That was a high voltage debate that we had over there. Sharp verbal intellect and wit experienced, shown by the two teams. Tamar, your grandiloquence, that is your eloquence and fluence, was outstanding. But because I have a feeling you might proceed to the next level, ensure you bring in more examples to make your argument more delicious and sumptuous. Guys, I don't want to say best because you being there, you're among the best teams. May the most outstanding team take it home. Thank you.
Mbooni boys and Kathiani girls. Who's the greater debater?
Mbooni boys, the judges awarded you 69.5%. Let's give them a round of applause.
Kathiani Girls High School. The judges awarded you 71%, making you the winners of this debate. Congratulations to both teams for giving us a good show and a good debate.
Indeed, and for you, viewer at home, keep this conversation going across all social media platforms. The hashtag is GDC for SDGs.
We'd also like to appreciate each and every person who's been able to make this show a reality, from the principals to the patrons and the students of each and every participating school. Remember, if it wasn't on the Great Debaters contest, then it was not a debate. I've been your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. See you in the next debate.